Hey guys, welcome back to another journaling video, updating you guys on my journal for the month of May. So I'm going to start in my, oh, this fell out. I'm going to start in my weekly planner and just talk about, the month of May. So the 1st of May, I hung out with my friend and I finished this jellyfish oil pastel, which I'll add a picture of here. And I started a spider web embroidery. I taught myself how to embroider. So Nala had tried to dart out the door when I had taken my parents' dog out to use the bathroom. Which, like, to take him out, I put him on the leash and I stand just at the front door and open it because I don't want to risk going down the stairs when I'm by myself, which is kind of a good idea. That I'm glad that I put that in place because when Noah darted out, I fell on the brick steps. It was 3 steps. And I kind of cushioned my fall, like caught myself when I fell down the steps, but I thought it was, so I'm okay. I just had a couple scrapes and bruises, but like I didn't break any bones, thankfully, or knock myself out since I was home alone. Thankfully, whenever I fell, my focus was on Nala, and I was like, Nala, please come back, Nala, please come back outside. And I think she could like feel my panic in my voice because she immediately turned around and ran back up the steps, and then I had to like figure out how to get myself back up and back inside and like, checked my body out, made sure I was okay. But I'm so glad that she was okay because I live kind of by a main road and I was like fearing intensely that she was gonna get hit by a car and I wasn't gonna be able to like go catch her, like stop it, or if I couldn't stop it and it happened anyway, like not be able to be there for her. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking because I'll start crying about it. And then the next Sunday, I finished this embroidery, which I'll insert a picture here. Ta-da! I think it's really beautiful, honestly. And the beads kind of like are iridescent and glitter in the sun. So that was really cool. And then I showered. Whoop, whoop. And then the next Monday in May, I went to Mama Ruby's funeral and celebration of life, and rested and came home, which I talked a little bit about my great-grandma, Ruby, in April's video, which I'll probably upload these at the same time. But I talked a little bit about her in the last video, so I'll just kind of like, move on. That Tuesday, I had an appointment at 2 with my therapist, and I picked up meds, and then I hand-sewed Apollo, which is like this little creepy creature doll, insert picture here, that I made for my friend Taylor for her birthday, which the spider embroidery was also for her birthday. And I'm planning on making me one, and I've also made my other best friend Raven one, so we all have matching ones. So I've been trying to make some for my friends. So I just haven't gotten around to making me one and another one for my other friend. But I've gotten their 2 done, so. But yeah. And then the next day I had an appointment. Or no, not appointment, sorry. I don't know why I said appointment done. My dad took me halfway and my best friend Taylor met me to, in her hometown, and we hung out, together, and I sat and like helped her organize her art room, and I showed her some of the anime Witch Hat Atelier, and the next day we kind of tried to keep organizing her art room. And we did some art, which I did this bat oil pastel of a little bat for my other friend Raven while I was down at Tay's house. And then we watched Ponyo, fishy in the sea. But yeah, we watched Ponyo. And then the next day we did art and we went to Miss B's bus. It's like really cool, which I'll show you the picture a little closer. So this bus is Miss B's bus, and it actually crashed, I think like in the 70s, or 90s. Oh, it says it right here. It crashed in 95. So it crashed, and she ended up just buying that lot of land off of that highway and turned it into her little art shop that you can go up into. Thankfully, they do have an ADA ramp up to the bus. The only thing is there's not a ramp into the actual bus, but the ramp up to it you can go on. And then there's 2 steps into the bus. So that was a little hard, but like it was pretty all right since I hadn't done like super high activities on these other 2 days. But there's me and Taylor on her birthday because it was her birthday, which is why I was down there. And then I came home, and then that Saturday was Mother's Day, and I hung out with my friends and read and relaxed outside, which the sky was like so pretty. But yeah, Tay turned 26. Oh, and this was the view in the office, when I had, oh, weird. It only said I had an appointment with my therapist. That's not my therapist office. I guess I did have an appointment on that day with somebody else. I don't really remember who it was, but I had a doctor's appointment. And then the next week, I did my PT and had electrolytes and read and rested outside and showered. And then that Tuesday, I had an appointment at the imaging center. I had a full abdominal ultrasound. Which this is some of the art that was hanging on the wall at the appointment. And then, this was, I took a picture of my pants, which that's some art that I put in my pants, but I happened to catch my fall wristband, and the appointment wristband at the, ultrasound, center. But I've been having a lot of abdominal pain, and they thought my liver enzymes, and I had a hepatic function test, and my liver enzymes were all sorts of wackadoo. So they just wanted to check and see, and it turns out I have a fatty liver, but they don't think it's like enough that would be causing me that immense pain and like my GI issues. So they actually think that I might have to have my gallbladder out, so I have to get a HIDA scan. But the ultrasound at least confirmed that I had fat on my liver. So, and then that next day I edited the March recap YouTube video, like the journaling video, and rested. That Thursday I rested and I hung out with one of my best friends over Discord, and we watched Arcane and Witch Hat Atelier. And then that next Friday, I had an appointment with my primary care at 1:40, and I rested, and I filled out some paperwork with my disability lawyer. And then that Saturday, my dad actually had his retirement party, and we swam, and I hung out with my friend Raven because she came over. She had done a Summerween haunted house. I thought that was super cool. This is her special effects makeup that Raven had on, and I just thought it was so cool. I had to immediately in the journal because that looks so fire. But she came over and we watched my favorite show, one of my favorite shows, Young Dracula. I don't know if anybody else have ever seen Young Dracula. It's a children's BBC show from the early 2000s about young Vladimir Dracula who just yearns to be human, and he becomes best friends with a human who wants to be a vampire, and it's set in England, and it's really, I love it. It's chef's kiss. But my friend Raven made me pasta because in a month I hadn't had the energy to meal prep or anything, and my parents had been busy, so they couldn't help me. So I had just been living off of protein shakes, peanut butter crackers, and egg and cheese tortillas things whenever my parents would cook it for me every now and then. So I hadn't had a cooked meal in a month and a half. So Raven was like, I'll cook, we can cook stuff, da 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 da. So this is the pasta with stuffed mushrooms that we had. Oh my god. My mouth is watering just staring at that. Yeah, I wrote pasta, Witch Hat Atelier, and Young Dracula, la 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 la. If you watch the show, you would get that. But, yeah, it was garlic butter Parmesan noodles with vegan garlic parmesan chicken that we cooked, and then the stuffed mushrooms with spinach and artichoke cheese stuffed mushrooms with sourdough homemade garlic bread. It was so good. I literally cried almost when I started eating it. I was like, this is so yummy. It's so good. I really needed this. And then as a present, I got the Witch Hat Atelier manga, but the grimoire version. So it's like, actually, let me go get that. Brief pause. So this is the Witch Hat Atelier grimoire edition. It's rather big, and beautiful. I absolutely love it. I believe it has the first 3 volumes, I believe, but it has, oh my gosh, such beautiful. Okay, it has all the way from chapters 1 through 17, and then it also has bonus artwork, which, oh my god, just look at that. Just takes your breath away. Oh my god. It just takes your breath away. It's such a gorgeous art style for the manga. And the characters are, like, amazing. I'm super excited to get to the disabled characters, because I've heard a lot of the manga, like, from manga readers who have read this manga, that, there's a lot of, disabled characters and people of color, and it's, like, pretty representative of, like, you know, the real world, and I thought that was really cool. And I love this, like, oh, it's got a map and, like, oh, you get to design your own pointed cap. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do that later. But yeah, it's like got bonus art and, like, drafts of the characters. Oh my god, it's just so beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful. But yeah, oh, the little brush buddy. But yes, I love it. It's one of my new prized possessions. Back to the journaling video. This next week in May, I had a pulmonary function test at 11:45 a.m. and a appointment with my rheumatologist at 1:40 p.m. and I rested. And then the next day, I had a mental health appointment at 4:30, and I rested and I showered and I fell. I don't remember why I fell or what happened, but I didn't get seriously injured, just some, you know, scuffs and bruises, whatever. And then, whenever we had gone into town for these 2 appointments, I had gotten this, like, new swimsuit. It comes with a swim skirt, and I just thought that was super cute. I felt like very vintage, you know, vibes. Then that next day, I had a appointment with my dermatologist at 2:30, which this is the waiting room. And inside of the room, they had these really cool posters. It says, compost, microorganisms will do the work. And then on the other one, it says, remember, recycling is reusing. And it just had, like, some really cool posters inside of my room, that I was waiting for the doctor, and I just thought that was really cool. And I put waiting, ... And then that next day, I had, it says I have an appointment with my therapist at 12. Okay, then what's this one? What's this appointment, then? I have so many appointments, it's hard to keep up. Okay, I didn't have a mental health appointment, I just had some type of an appointment, and then I had therapy, this appointment. And then my dad picked up my groceries, and he helped me meal prep. Finally, after a month and a half, I finally meal prepped, and we made some lemon pepper tofu. And he cut up a pineapple for me, and we got some protein shakes, like, stocked up the fridge and cleaned out my fridge. And I've been, like, really drinking on these protein shakes just because it's been really hard for me to get up and fix food. And then the next day, I caught up this journal, and I put away laundry by myself, smiley face, and I rested. And it was a rainy day, so I was listening to And the Hound by Yalcor, and, like, listening to a bunch of Yalcor music, with the rainy day, you know, vibe. And then that weekend, the Saturday and Sunday, it was my best friend's Raven's birthday! Wop, wop, wop. Wop, wop, wop. And, so we hung out and went to eat, and then we all kind of night swam. and hung out. And then the next day I just rested and I showered, but I just rested. And then the last week of May, that Monday, we left for a camping trip and we set up the tent. I say we, that's being generous. I didn't really help because anytime I would try to like help, I would like grab on the tent and get dizzy, and there was multiple times where I fell inward and brought the tent down on top of me, twice actually. So after that point I said, okay, I obviously am not physically capable of setting up this tent, even sitting down, like using my wheelchair like to roll around the campsite. So I'm just gonna, I'm just not gonna do it. But there's our tent. It was set up. That's, a picture. And then we made a campfire that morning, I think, and we roasted vegan hot dogs. And then I had my wheelchair, and the campground that we camped at has a paved walking trail. So I brought my wheelchair so I could be pushed on it, because I can't walk regular walking trails. That's like way too long of a walk. I couldn't. So there's a picture of me like in my wheelchair, like taking from above, going on the trail. And then this is the creek, like that kind of goes all along the trail, kind of, and there's like fog. It's like very foggy and rainy. The tent, the tarp, oh my gosh, I was so scared it wasn't gonna hold up, because it was like raining so hard, and I was so scared that it wasn't gonna hold up, and then it ended up like kind of holding up. It was fine, but it was like really good sleep. But I had a really hard time getting up out of the tent, so I had to be helped up out of the tent. But it was an experience. And then we saw some deer, and I took some photos of the leaves with the rain. And then that's the drive home. Look on the drive home. But yeah, it was a fun camping trip. Went swimming. We'd actually gone to a local day area from the campground and went swimming. There was like this beautiful sway bridge, but it absolutely obliterated me, because like the entirety of like since we got back on this Wednesday, and then all I did was rest, watch Arcade with my friend, watch Josie and the Tiger and the Fish with my other friend, over Discord from bed, rested on couch, slept. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I literally did absolutely nothing and just laid on the couch and would just wake up and try to drink a protein shake and eat snacks. And then somebody would maybe fix me a meal if they felt up to it. Just like trying to like get my body out of the flare up. I've been in so much pain, just like living on the couch underneath my giant heating pad. But yeah, and I really love Josie, the Tiger and the Fish. If you haven't watched it and you are a wheelchair user, it is available on Crunchyroll, and it is like one of the best animated films that I have seen with a wheelchair user, and I absolutely love it. And then also in the month of May, in my commonplace, I had done a thing on the Capitol Crawl, which, if you do not know what the Capitol Crawl is, it was an activist movement in the 90s, specifically on March 12th, 1990. Basically, over 500 protesters marched from the White House to the west side of the Capitol to the People's House. They dropped to the ground out of their mobility aids and crawled/dragged themselves up all 83 marble steps with rolled up copies of the Declaration of Independence in their pockets. And when they made it to the top, they handed the members of Congress the copies of the Declaration of Independence. It was over 80 degrees that day, and it was in order to bring awareness to the Americans with Disabilities Act. And that ended up actually getting it pushed to be passed. And the ADA, now provides basic amenities and protections. At that time, it was for an estimated 40 million mentally and physically disabled citizens. And actually, one of the youngest activists that took part in the protest was 8-year-old Jennifer Keelan Chaffins. And this is a picture here of her mom hugging her when she got to the top. But she was 8 years old and she was part of 60 activists who had cast aside their mobility aids and crawled up the steps. She is quoted as saying, "I'll take all night if I have to." Try not to cry. I'll take all night if I have to crawl up these steps to get the rights that we are afforded. And another activist who was there, by the name of Anita Cameron, she said, "We did it to show that we disabled people, as second-class citizens, needed change. But I think a lot of people forget the ADA was the floor. It was not the ceiling." And Anita Cameron had also made it up the stairs that day. So it's like really, really important for disability activism, especially within the past, and like I think it was the 40s, 50s, 60s-ish with the ugly laws, and being institutionalized, which was mainly just the only choices mainly for mentally and physically disabled citizens in America. So once, it was legal for people with disabilities to be in public, this was the next step. So I just really wanted to capture that in this commonplace entry, because it's really important to me and a lot of other people in the disabled community. So yeah. But that's, and at my dad's retirement, this is a horrible sketch, okay, because I literally was just like doodling with a pen just because I was bored. It's my best friend Taylor's stepdad singing karaoke, because they were singing karaoke at the party, and this is like kind of a little rough sketch of our living room. But yeah, that's basically it. That recaps May. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go crawl underneath my heating pad. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me about some things you did in May, and maybe how you felt about anything that I said. So thanks for watching, guys. See you later.